Hey Misfits, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Shawn or Shawnicorn of Shawnicorn Mindshift Coaching. And this is Eminem or Murder Mittens. May is also Women's Heart Health Month. That's a mouthful. And I want to talk about my own journey with heart health. Because heart issues in women don't always look like the way people think they do. Mine sure as hell didn't. And honestly, getting healthier took a lot of things. It took advocating for myself. It took doctors and medical professionals actually taking me seriously. It took somebody phenomenal at their job explaining what the hell was happening to my body in a way I understood. It took years, and it took me slowly learning how to put myself first. Back in 2016 is when I was diagnosed with coronary artery disease, CAD. I had 2 blockages. One rerouted itself and basically grew a new pathway because apparently I'm a mutant. It's not the first time or last time my body has done something uncommon. The other blockage was almost 80% occluded. Before diagnosis, though, I knew something was wrong. I was exhausted constantly, yet I couldn't sleep. My chest felt heavy. And yes, I smoked at the time, yet this was a very different heavy. I was getting winded within a few steps, couldn't keep up with my teenage daughter, didn't want to go out. I had no dexterity, no stamina. My blood pressure was often extremely high. They had already put me on blood pressure meds a couple months beforehand. So I went to my doctor one day because I knew something was off. She checked my blood pressure. It was like 201/90. She ran an EKG, did some tests. Then she came back in and said, okay, I need you to hear me when I say this and stay calm. And proceeded to tell me that there was something wrong with my heart and that I needed to leave her office and go straight to the emergency room. And my first thought wasn't, oh shit, my heart. No. My first thought was, my daughter's going to be locked out after school, because that's what a lot of women do. We're literally in medical crisis and we're still thinking about everybody else. So my doctor, bless her, told me, okay, go home, leave the door unlocked, write a note, leave it for your daughter, and pack an overnight bag and go. She knew my husband at the time was military and typically couldn't leave work. So I did exactly that. I packed a bag, wrote a note, drove myself to the ER, called my mom on the way. And honestly, one of the few good things that she did, she and my son got in a car and drove to South Carolina where I was living. I ended up hospitalized for 4 days, I believe. Had my first heart catheter through the wrist. Ended up with bleeding complications afterwards. I lost a decent amount of blood. And that first doctor, honestly, I felt like he just wanted to open me up without explaining what was happening to me. He wanted open heart surgery. Not much explanation, just surgery. My father had bypass surgery, an open heart, so like that was terrifying. He survived that one. He didn't survive the heart attack anyway. So not much explanation, just surgery. And I asked for another opinion. And I'm proud that I refused. I mean, not because of the next this, but because I stood up for myself. Within months of all that, though, I was also diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So now we've got thyroid issues, heart issues, blood pressure issues, all happening together. And my heart problems were not one thing. It was genetics, lifestyle, trauma and chronic stress load, the whole picture. Before I could finish getting all the second opinion testing done, we moved to Georgia, and that's where things got serious. Middle of the night, I wake up, can't breathe, chest hurts, thoughts are swirling. I have asthma, so the first thing I did was hit my inhaler. Then I sat on the edge of the bed for a few minutes and debated, trying to figure out, is this asthma? Am I panicking? Do I wake him up? Is this serious enough? Because women's symptoms don't always look like the damn movies. I wasn't dramatically clutching my chest. It felt like pressure. It felt like underwater. It felt like I couldn't breathe. Very panic attack adjacent. Eventually, I shook my now ex-husband awake and told him what was happening. His response basically was, I don't know, if you feel the need to do, do whatever you need to do what you need to do, or some shit like that. So I called. EMS instructed him to unlock the door, kennel the dog, stand by, and asked if we had aspirin. We didn't. They got there, immediately gave me 4 baby aspirin, checked vitals, and loaded me up. And I was scared. Really, really scared. While loading me up, the paramedic says, look, I think the Georgia hospital, I can't remember what it's called, it was in Kingsland, is basically a Band-Aid station. I can make a call and get you to Florida to this other hospital. It's the best cardiac care around. I would take my own mother there. And I told him, take me there, please. That paramedic kept me grounded the whole time. He had his hand on my shoulder. He kept talking to me, keeping me talking about my kids. By the time we got there, like an hour later, I was about as calm as I could be. That hospital saved my life. Not because I was actively having a heart attack. I wasn't. Yet my heart was struggling, and it was my wake-up call. And by sheer weird timing, fate, whatever you want to call it, the head cardiologist from the naval base also worked on call at that hospital that I went to. He had became my cardiologist for the next 3 years while I lived in Georgia. I made that drive like once or twice a month, heavily monitored for the first year, then monthly, then less often as I improved. Like after like a couple years, it was bi-monthly. That by that end of 3 years, like 2.5 anyway. The less often as I improved, and that doctor changed everything. Not because he sugarcoated things. He did not. He told me flat out, you will not be here for your kids when they grow up because you'll be dead. You need to lose weight. You need to make changes. You need to put your health first. And here's the difference. That wasn't condescending bullshit. That was honesty. He talked to me like an intelligent human being. He explained what was happening in my body. I needed reality. I needed understanding. I needed someone who would explain. When I had to do the medical stress test because I tried the treadmill and I couldn't go fast enough and I felt like I was having a heart attack, And the doctor explained the medicinal version, it's going to feel similar. Yet you can sit here and I'll talk to you through it. And he did. He taught me through it. Even held my hand for a minute. I don't remember his name, but I remember his face. He had such a kind face. He celebrated my wins. He kept me going when my spouse wasn't. My daughter, though, she was a huge cheerleader for me, and I appreciate more than I think she ever will realize. And no, I did not magically become healthy overnight. Not even remotely. I started walking my driveway at first, then the cul-de-sac. Then I started walking further and further out in the neighborhood, whatever I could do. I kept moving. I took medications. Metformin made me shit my brains out. Yet I lost the weight. I went to my appointments. I kept showing up. Yet change was slow. Very slow. Like 20 pounds here, 40 pounds there. Not overnight. Not linear. I was still smoking, still emotionally eating, because food and cigarettes were my coping mechanisms. If I was angry, I smoked. Sad, smoked. Happy, smoked. Or ate, or both. Food and cigarettes were not just habits. They were comfort, coping, stress relief, regulation. And taking away your coping mechanisms is hard. Really hard. I did the bare minimum at first. I did. My cardiologist got on me. Yet I still wasn't truly putting myself first. That took longer. In 2019, we moved to Connecticut. I still had a cardiac team there. Yet by then I was doing better. Appointments every 3 to 6 months instead of constant monitoring. Weight down significantly. By 2022, when we left Connecticut, I had gone from roughly 297 to like 221. And my quit smoking date, April 29th, 2021. It actually just recently passed, and it blew right by, and I forgot to celebrate. So I guess I needed to do that. 5 years after diagnosis, I quit. 5 fucking years it took me. But I did it. No, not but. And I did it. It took me to getting to age 45 and realizing my father died at 47. I did not want to leave my children. So I used patches, gum, Wellbutrin, switched methods, eventually quit cigarettes. And my lungs and my heart feel so much better. And honestly, the more unhealed trauma you have, the harder self-advocacy becomes. The harder it is to put yourself first. Because many of us are conditioned to put ourselves on the back burner. Take care of everyone else. Ignore ourselves. It was hard advocating for myself when my spouse at the time was dismissive or emotionally uncaring. That matters. Support matters. Your environment matters. It still took years after everything, after diagnosis, after scary heart events, after specialists, after medical care, for me to truly learn how to put myself first without guilt. That came later. Coaching, healing, growth, doing the work on me, physically, mentally, emotionally. And today, I am healthier than I ever have been. Not perfect. My heart will never completely be healthy, yet it has repaired some damage. I rarely have angina anymore. Usually it's like a quick flutter and it moves on. Yet stress can still trigger those flare-ups. My blood pressure has been normal around the last year and a half. I mean, I do see my doctor regularly. I don't have a heart doctor specifically anymore. I just see my regular doctor. I also changed how I eat. Slowly. Not overnight. I started eating oatmeal again, which sounds ridiculous, but because I had a weird childhood thing at oatmeal after getting sick from eating it and getting like all over the coat closet. I'm pretty sure there was another video I did about that. I'll talk about that more later. Comment if you want the oatmeal story. Yet oatmeal is heart healthy. So back into my life it came. I eat breakfast now. For years I skipped breakfast. Now I understand breakfast literally means breaking the fast. Fueling your body matters. I usually eat for I usually eat my breakfast daily. Like I don't skip breakfast and I eat within an hour. It's helped me maintain my weight as well. I cut out most of the garbage food, not all, yet most. You know, I'm human. I still like junk sometimes, just not most of the time like I used to. And I think that is also important. Moderation. Heart health is not one giant dramatic decision. It's years of smaller choices. Walking, appointments, questions, medication, learning, weight loss, smoking cessation, food changes, self-advocacy, self-worth, consistency. And just like any other health issue, heart health needs to be taken seriously. And I really want women to hear me on this. Women's heart symptoms do not always look like men's. Exhaustion, pressure, heavy chest, breathing changes, feeling underwater, panic-like symptoms. Take your body seriously. Advocate for yourself. Ask questions. Get another opinion if something doesn't feel right. Find doctors who explain. Find doctors who listen. Find doctors who kick ass at their job and actually help you understand your body. And if you're struggling to advocate for yourself, I see you too. Because that was a part of my journey as well. If any of this resonates, if you've dealt with heart issues, women's health issues, self-advocacy struggles, lifestyle changes, or just trying to learn how to put yourself first, talk to me. Let's talk about women's heart health. Comment, share, save it. Because somebody out there might be exhausted, scared, struggling to breathe, thinking it's stress, thinking it's anxiety, thinking they're fine. And they deserve to know they matter too. So do you, Misfit. I love you. Take care of you.